There was just something so incredibly special in that building that day. I've never felt anything like that before. We set a show time at 1 o'clock. I went up to one of the offices. They used one of the offices as a dressing room to deliver a message, and I walked in a room and the four Beatles were in there, and they were like a young band, nervous, getting ready for a live audition. We had no place else to go. We were looking to do a concert for live footage for the film, and no matter what we tried, it just seemed like, because they were the Beatles, they just couldn't do a show someplace, so we really had to isolate ourselves that day and just do a show without any interruption. Pretty soon you can see people are coming off of roofs, they're in windows, they're on ledges, and this old gentleman is even going to see what it's about. I don't think any of us realize that this is a historic day, and which is being with the Beatles in general. I don't think any of us realized that the Beatles were going to be the Beatles. I had made comments before to Ringo that I couldn't wait for the whole thing to get over with, so because I really wanted to later on in life just for him and I to hang out and just be pals, but they're still the Beatles. I mean, that's never changed. This is the first time I worked with the Beatles. The very first day I worked with them, I was 27 years old, and this was in the downstairs recording studio at Capitol Records where we held the press conference, and we gave them their gold records for the Help album that day. This is really an interesting picture. We were having the Apple meetings in London, and the building had just been painted all white inside and out and green carpet, but there was no furniture. So we held our first meetings like this, sitting on the floor of the Apple building. This is in a hotel room in Hyde Park in London when we were putting together Apple Records, and we rented a suite, barely room to move around, and but that's how we did it.
Meditation is the key to releasing all the anxieties and frustrations so that we can reveal what we really are, which is Satchitananda, perfection, and that's it. Each one is potentially divine, and the goal is just to realize that.
It was George who actually moved me into spiritual matters, and because of him I started meditating and got a guru, and I'd rented a house for him in LA, and we were in the kitchen and he was cooking up some veggies, and we just got talking, and he explained to me why he didn't eat meat and the spiritual reasons for it, and that really started me on my metaphysical path and being a new ager.
I used to spend many hours, many days, weeks in seclusion doing these kind of things on different meditation retreats and yoga classes and chanting classes and teaching and being taught meditation, sitting at the foot of my guru for weeks at a time. And even though I spent 10 years in the metaphysical arena and teaching and being a favored chela of a major guru, at the end it left me empty.
During the good days, I was able to buy this quarter-mile ocean frontage, 2 private streams, stairs that went down to private coves, home and guest home, and I left here with 3 cardboard boxes and 3 suitcases, no money, no hopes, no work, and went to Nashville, Tennessee to start all over.
I just finished a video shoot, and we decided to go to a restaurant, and we were sitting and talking, and this man walked over to our table and asked if he could introduce himself.
We started seeing each other, and as much as we felt for each other, we had a real serious problem, because every time we would get talking, the conversation came down to the way and a way.
He always would agree with me that yes, Jesus is a way, and I said no, he's the way, and almost all of our discussions ended with that.
And this went on long enough to where she finally decided that as much as we cared about each other and as much as it felt like for some odd reason we were put together, that she could not be unequally yoked.
Bottom line is that he had a guru, and that's, no.
I'd change gurus for you in a second. I mean, that's how much I care about you, but anyway, I thought, if Jesus means this much to her, you know, I think I want some of this. My conversion to Christianity, I think, was the return to, I think as I said in the book, the drinking of the sweet well water that my mother had spoon-fed me as I was growing up. She never, ever stopped praying for my brother and I. Unwittingly, I gave her probably the most precious gift she ever had. And that was accepting the Lord as my Savior.